Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 2022 NCAA Volleyball Selection Show on NCAA.com. I'm Brendan Gulick. It is great to be with you as we prepare to launch our national tournament here at the end of the season. This is everybody's favorite time of year. We're going to get ready to launch our 64-team national tournament. This is the 41st time that we've held the national field, and for the very first time, we are heading to the Pacific Northwest. The championship this year will be headed to Seattle. The D2 National Championship for the Fall Festival, as a matter of fact, includes our tournament as well as the final sites for field hockey, cross country, men's and women's soccer. It's an extremely cool event. It's very unique. Only Division II does this. We're looking forward to passing out some invitations here to compete in this year's national championship. Our defending champion, the Tampa Spartans, they're back in the field this year. They're going to try to defend their title, but MSU Denver, Wayne State, Concordia St. Paul, Minnesota Duluth, Alaska Anchorage, and several other powerhouse programs are ready to make a statement. They think they've got what it takes to win this year's national championship. Our tournament is a concoction of 8 regional tournaments, and each of those have 8 teams in the region. Each region is single elimination as normal. All of our regional champions will then be invited to come to Seattle. We'll reseed the entire group, and we'll compete for the national championship in the Pacific Northwest. The 8 regional hosts will be responsible for providing live video coverage for the regional tournaments, and then we'll live stream all of the national tournament matches from Seattle right here on NCAA.com. You can navigate through the D2 volleyball page to see some great info on tournament history, game times, locations, scores, everything you need here the next couple of weeks. We've got a total of 23 automatic bids to hand out. That means there's 41 programs that are going to get an at-large this season. I'm sure there are some that feel pretty confident based on where they stood in those regional rankings the last time they were posted, but there are definitely a number of pretty nervous teams wondering, did we get in or did someone steal a bid from us during the conference tournaments? We won't keep you waiting any longer. Let's begin with the Atlantic region, where the top seed and the regional host is Gannon. The Golden Knights just beat Clarion this afternoon to win the PSAC championship in a 5-set thriller. They were national semifinalists last year, and certainly they think they can make a deep run here again in 2022. Gannon led by Sam Dynick and Maddie Blake, who have helped lead the Knights to 14 straight victories. PSAC was absolutely loaded again this year. The winner of the conference is always among the best teams in the nation. Gannon opening tournament play against Elizabeth City. The Lady Vikings are in as the 8 seed after taking home the CIAA title this season, just their second conference championship in 14 years. Charleston is in as the 4 seed after falling to Wheeling this weekend. It was their first and only home loss of the season thus far, and an 18-1 record at home. Golden Eagles will have a rematch with Fairmont State after they beat the Fighting Falcons in the Mountain East semifinals this past week. 2 seed in the region is Clarion. 2021 PSAC champions lost in today's terrific final to Gannon. Allison Peters named the PSAC Champion Scholar for this year's volleyball season. That's an award that goes annually to a player with the highest GPA at the conference championship. Also takes into account some other academic factors. Congratulations to Allison. The Golden Eagles will play West Liberty, who just got a bid for the first time since 2010. Big congratulations to the Hilltoppers. You're the 7 seed this Thursday. Last 2 teams in the Atlantic region are Wheeling and Indiana of Pennsylvania. Cardinals, the 2022 Mountain East champions. They beat Charleston in 4 sets, won their 10th MEC title in program history. They were the number 1 seed in the region last year, won twice before they lost in straight sets to Gannon in the regional final. IUP was knocked out of the PSAC tournament in the quarters. A little bit of a nervous wait for them, but the Crimson Hawks are in. First 20-win season since 2017. They have been great from behind the service line all year. To the Central region now, where our top seed and host might actually be sweating it out just a little bit. Wayne State from Nebraska lost for just the second time in 31 matches, losing in a 5-set thriller to Augustana in the league tournament. They're the number 2 nationally ranked team, but they were knocked out in the opening round of the NSIC tournament. Wildcats are one of the best attacking teams in the nation, swinging .285 over the course of 31 matches. They closed the year 5-2 after a 24-0 start. Wayne State hosting the Central Region. They'll open things up against a conference champion. Harding, you're in. What a run for the Lady Bisons on the way to a Great American Conference crown. Harding's now won 28 matches in a row dating back to August 27th. Lady Bisons broke the previous school record of 17. That was accomplished back in 02 and 05. This is the first time since 2005 that the Lady Bisons have won 30 matches in a season. Northwest Missouri State lost to Washburn in the MIAA semifinals, despite being the top seed in the tournament and the number 10 team in the nation. But they're back in the field here. Northwest had defeated Washburn 5 consecutive times entering Friday's MIAA tournament quarterfinal. They sure didn't go down without a fight, though. The Bearcats had 229 total attacks in a 4-set match. That's the most in program history in a 4-set match. And the previous match set was 219, so they beat it handily. Peyton Kirchhafer tied her career-high 26 kills in that one. Jaden Ferguson, a new career-high 33 digs. They were the 3 seed last year and lost in 5 in the opening round to Nebraska Kearney. Northwest Missouri State will open up against a team that doesn't plan to stop partying anytime soon. After their incredible 5-set win today over Concordia, the Huskies from St. Cloud State earn the AQ, and they are in the tournament. SCSU is now 8-1 all-time in the NSIC tournament under head coach Chad Bragelman. Huge congratulations to the Huskies on a great performance today. Speaking of the NSIC, Concordia St. Paul, the number 2 seed in this regional. The number 3 ranked team in the country has won more national titles than any program in D2 history. They just couldn't seem to get past Washburn these last few years. Well, they haven't been in the national championship weekend since they won it all in 2017. Certainly among the favorites to get there this year. The Golden Bears lead the nation in hitting percentage. They are second in both kills and assists per set. They'll have to go on the road to Wayne State, and they'll take on Nebraska Kearney in the opening round. Kearney was the MIAA runner-up to Washburn, losing to them for the 3rd time this fall. Now, that might not sound impressive, but they won a ridiculous 28-2 against everybody else that they played. Minnesota Duluth is in. The Bulldogs lost to Concordia in the semis of the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference Tournament. They finished the year 26-4. Now they're back in the national tournament for the first time since 2019 when they won an opening round game. And they'll get the Washburn Ichabods. Chris Herron's team just flat out knows how to get it done in tournament time, don't they? 2021 national runner-up, lost to Tampa in straight sets. They're back in the field after capturing the program's first ever conference tournament title on Saturday evening. They defeated the Lopers in 4 sets. This is their 17th NCAA tournament appearance, but amazingly, they had won 5 regular season titles and had never previously won the tournament. All 17 trips to the postseason have come since 2002. Of course, they were ranked number 1 in the nation for a bit last year, had also posted a couple wins over teams that were ranked number 1 at the time. Jalen Stevenson leads the offense, 3.2 kills per set. The Ichabods were squarely on the bubble at the beginning of the week. They likely would have been on the outside looking in, but they won the conference championship. Let's move to the East region. Our top seed is American International. For the 2nd year in a row, the Yellow Jackets hosting the regional tournament after they won the NE10 final today in straight sets over Adelphi. Jackets aren't currently ranked in the AVCA top 25, but they're 28-2. They've been fantastic of late, winning their last 8 matches with only 3 total dropped sets. They're definitely going to be stiff competition this week, and they'll open play against a team that is sweating bullets right about now. Welcome back to the tournament to Malloy. The Lions lost to Damon in straight sets in the ECC final, but they got the last spot in the region thanks to some friendly results in other conference tournaments. In fact, the Lions could thank Jefferson, who's the 4th seed in the region. The Rams just swept Bloomfield to punch their ticket. They're back in the tournament this year after falling to Stonehill in the first round of 2021. Now, this year's CACC title for Latifa Rahim's group is their 3rd in the conference and 2nd during her tenure. Jefferson opens up play against NE10 runner-up Adelphi. They played in a conference title game today for the first time since 2016. Adelphi's got great leadership from their senior class, and freshman outside hitter McCarty McQueen was named the NE10 Rookie of the Year, so the future appears just as bright for the Panthers. Damon on the board here is a 2 seed. Wildcats are the reigning East Region champs after a great run last fall. And now the Wildcats are back-to-back ECC champs and their third title since 2018. They beat Malloy in straight sets on Saturday. Wildcats put together their 13th 20-win season in program history. They got the AQ this year. They're led by Sam Logan, who won the ECC Tournament Most Outstanding Player. Wildcats the first team to repeat in the conference since Bridgeport's 4 consecutive conference titles from 2012 to 2015. Damon will start the regional against St. Anselm. The Hawks have had a really solid season, 20-9, but they've been waiting for a bit here to find out if they're NCAA tournament bound because they were knocked out on Thursday in the league quarterfinals. This is their first appearance in the playoffs since 2019, and they had a first-round win that year. Bentley on the board here. Falcons were knocked out in the quarterfinals of the NE10 by Southern Connecticut State, but had previously won 14 of 15 matches since mid-September. They snuck in the tournament as a 7 seed last year, hoping for a big performance this time around. Bentley will play Southern New Hampshire. They get an at-large bid after making their first trip to the NE10 semis in league history. Still, they come into the NCAA tournament, though, with some momentum, 10 wins in their last 13 matches. Time to move to the Midwest region. Our host and top seed, Quincy, the Hawks, dropped the GLVC semifinal match to Lewis in straight sets. That was only their second setback of the entire year, but it did not cost them the top seed. They're now 27-2, thanks largely to Madison Norris and Emma Weinbergen. Mark Jones has an outstanding group. It sure looks like the best team he's had during his tenure at Quincy. The 8 seed in the Midwest is Northern Michigan. The Wildcats were bounced in the semis of the GLIAC tournament. Grand Valley knocked them out, which has made them a little nervous about getting in today. The Wildcats are in, thanks to no bid stealers, frankly, in the GMAC or the GLVC tournaments. Northern Michigan with its first appearance back in the field since they were here 3 years in a row, 2008 to 2010. Rockhurst won the region in 2019 when their seniors were freshmen. They made it to the Final Four that year, so their program knows how to do it come tournament time. Rockhurst lost to Lewis in the GLVC title match on Saturday, but not as much drama. Last year, they crept in the field as the 8 seed, and this year, Rockhurst is the 4 seed. They'll play Missouri St. Louis, the Tritons. Tritons lost the GLVC semis to Rockhurst, closing a 21-6 season. Still, though, it's a 3rd straight year they've been invited to the national tournament in the Midwest region. Last year, they showed a great ability to reset mentally after losing the conference final to Lewis. Then they turned around and beat them in the first round of the NCAA tournament. See if they can embody that same mentality this year when they play the Hawks. Speaking of Lewis, the Flyers are on the docket next. 12-time conference champions were at it again, and now they are the 2 seed. Lewis beat Rockhurst in 4 sets on Saturday, led by Megan Schlechte and her 14 kills. They get the auto bid out of the GLVC. Lewis, the national runner-up back in 1981 in the very first national championship tournament for women's volleyball, but they haven't gotten back to the championship match since then. The Flyers will meet the Hillsdale Chargers. What a run this week for the defending Midwest region champs. They pulled off a GMAC title this weekend after beating Northwood, Walsh, and Trevecca Nazarene to win the league. 6th straight GMAC championship after a tournament that featured, frankly, more chaos than just about every other one in the country. They may have had a tough little stretch in the middle of the year, but the Chargers are roaring into the tournament with 11 straight wins. They're going to be a tough out. Time to welcome back the Ferris State Bulldogs. They are the GLIAC champs after an incredible 5-set match against Grand Valley State, who was trying to pull off a big upset and steal an auto bid. It's the 2nd straight GLIAC title for the Bulldogs. They're 8th in the last 9 full seasons. Pretty rough start to the season for the Bulldogs, admittedly. They opened with 6 consecutive losses against some really high-quality teams. But when they got right, They became one of the dominant powers anywhere in the nation, 24-3 since that 0-6 start, and they've won 9 matches in a row coming into the playoffs. And Ferris State will start the tournament against the Ashland Eagles. Ashland dropped the GMAC tournament opener to Tiffin in 4 sets, put themselves in a precarious spot, but they are in. Disappointing that Ashland's only 2 GMAC losses all year came in the regular season finale and the tournament opener, both to Tiffin, after they had gone 16-0 before that. But 5 of their losses this season came before September 3rd, back in early season tournaments. They've played great volleyball since then. All right, let's take a deep breath. 32 teams in, 32 teams still to go. Take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll give you the final 4 regions right here on NCAA.com.
There's an energy swelling out beyond the limits of your expectations. A universe where fandom reigns supreme. Once you're in it, it changes you. Instead of one of one, you're one of many. A blissful sea of chaos. Go beyond your limits and enter the NCAA universe. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets.
Welcome back to our coverage of the National Selection Show here for Division II volleyball. We've already put in all the teams from the Atlantic, Central, East, and Midwest regions. And we are ready to move to the South region, where some of the best teams in the country play year after year. Let's get back to the bracket. This year's regional host and #1 seed is the defending national champion, the Tampa Spartans. Head coach Chris Katanak knows how to get the best out of his teams. He's won 4 national titles, including 3 of the last 7 tournaments. Spartans are the real deal again this year, and they've been impossible to beat at home. They've won 22 matches in a row at home now. Callie Kors has been fantastic, along with freshman Natalie Perez and Tess Schringer. Spartans will start the tournament with Spring Hill, where the Badgers have won their 4th straight SIAC championship. Eckerd is in, the 4 seed in the region, after closing the regular season today with a big win over the Berry Bucks. Tritons are hot right now, winning 6 of their last 7 inside the really tough Sunshine State Conference. Eckerd drew West Florida at the outset. The Argos have won 10 games in a row, including a Gulf South Conference title for a 5th consecutive season. Lynn is the 2 seed in the region after they closed the regular season with a shutout win of Rollins. Fighting Knights come surging into the tournament, a 23-5 record, 7 straight victories, another really good year in the SSC. They've lost only twice since mid-September. This is their 3rd straight trip to the tournament. The Knights are primed for a deep run this time around. Lynn will play Florida Southern. The Mocs have dropped 6 of their last 8 matches. Not a great time of year to struggle, but they had a good enough resume over the beginning and middle parts of the year that it convinced the committee they were still worthy of a championship tournament bid. Berry, the 3 seed this year, they are a serious threat to win the regional title. The Bucks have had a great season at 25-4. They're comfortably in the field. One of the best turnarounds anywhere in the nation. They finished a game under 500 last fall. Much of that, of course, can be attributed to Coach Yelene and National Player of the Year candidate Diana Akopova. They're going to play a team that's been through a lot this year, but thanks to the incredible leadership from first-year head coach Casey Enger, Nova Southeastern is dancing this fall. The Sharks have battled a bunch of injuries and scheduling conflicts, but they've registered some great wins, including one over Tampa back in mid-September. Hats off to the Sharks on a courageous season. Good luck in the national tournament. Time to move to the Southeast region, where our top seed this year is Wingate. The Bulldogs, red hot, just won their 13th conference title in the last 17 years. They beat Carson Newman for the South Atlantic Conference Championship. They did it in straight sets yesterday afternoon. 2022 SAC Player of the Year, Shannon Kasprak, also named the conference tournament MVP. Wingate will open as the host, and they'll play USC Aiken. The Pacers lost in the Peach Belt Conference Final in an epic 5-set match to Flagler, but they did enough to squeak their way into regionals on Thursday. Anderson next year, they're the 4 seed in the region this year. Trojans went 21-7. They slipped up a bit the last 2 weeks, but still comfortably in the field. Their tournament opener is against Lander, who beat in straight sets a month ago Anderson. Now, Jeff Reynolds' team had a really good season in the Peach Belt. They certainly deserve a chance to play on. Augusta, the 2 seed this year, the Jaguars stubbed their toe in the Peach Belt semifinals when they lost to USC Aiken, but don't let that early exit fool you. Augusta, the regular season league champions, they have been exceptionally tough to beat the last few weeks. The Jags have Conference Carolinas champion UNC Pembroke. Congrats to the Braves. They are in the field here, winning their first league championship in nearly 30 years. Unbelievable performance from UNC Pembroke. Our final 2 spots in this region belong to Carson Newman and Flagler. The Eagles came up a little short in their SAC title bid, but they're still recognized as one of the top teams in the Southeast region. They're the 3 seed this year. The Saints, of course, won the Peach Belt title yesterday, marking their 7th conference crown in program history. Let's move to the South Central region. Our top seed this year, the number 1 ranked team in the country, the Roadrunners from MSU Denver. Losing just once all season way back on September 3rd to Concordia, Metro State Denver has been the best team in the country, frankly, almost all season wire to wire. They've won 22 in a row, and most of the time they've done it in straight sets. Took 7 tries, but they are finally Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference champions for the first time in school history. Riley Ladke, Riley Anderson helped lead the way, but this is a true team in every sense of the word. They are one of the heavy favorites to win a national championship in Seattle. MSU Denver will open against CSU Pueblo, who just played them, by the way, really tough last week. Austin Alber's Thunderwolves definitely up for the challenge. Dallas Baptist, the 4 seed in the region after a 25-6 campaign. Patriots lost to West Texas A&M in the Lone Star title game, but Shaylee Shore and her teammates ready for the NCAA tournament. Their first game is against Colorado Mesa, who is scorching hot. Their season came to a screeching halt, though, this past week. Still, a no-brainer to be picked for this year's tournament. Speaking of the Lady Buffs, West Texas A&M is in. They got the AQ out of the Lone Star Conference. They're the defending regional champions and made a great run last year. They won the league yesterday in straight sets, and they are ready for another championship chase. And they'll play a familiar opponent in the first round, Texas Tyler. The Patriots and Lady Buffs split their regular season meetings, and then Texas Tyler lost in the conference semis this week, but they're going to get a 4th and a most important crack at West Texas A&M on Thursday in Denver. Last 2 teams in the South Central region, it's another rematch, Regis and Colorado School of Mines. Each team won a match against each other in straight sets this season. Regis lost the RMAC title game to Metro State yesterday. The Ore Diggers were knocked out in the semis. Mines really tough offensively. They lead the country in both kills and assists per set. Last but very certainly not least, we travel out to the West region. Our top seed, a fantastic season primed for a huge run. Alaska Anchorage will host the regional tournament this year after they just barely crept in the field as an 8 seed in 2021. Seawolves, the great Northwest Conference champions, after sweeping St. Martin's on Saturday. This is their first title since 2016 and their 4th in the league's 21 years of competition. The Seawolves opening round game is against Chaminade, the Swords Pac West champs, after sweeping Fresno Pacific in the final. Couple of CCAA teams on the board next. Cal Poly Pomona and Cal State San Bernardino squaring off in the 4-5 matchup in the regional. The Broncos won their very first tournament championship over Sonoma State on Saturday night. And their reward is a San Bernardino team that just beat them. I should say that they just beat in the semis, but this is not exactly a foregone conclusion because the Coyotes got the better of the Broncos twice during the regular season. Should be a fun one. Western Washington, a powerhouse this year. They're ranked 8th in the country. They come into the national tournament with the Vikings. Frankly, they'd love to play for a national championship so close to home. They're the 2 seed in the region. They only lost to ranked opponents this year, 16-2 in the GNAC. Western Washington, of course, played in the national semifinals last year. They've advanced out of the region 3 of the last 6 seasons. This marks their 10th straight and 16th overall appearance in the NCAA tournament. Also, congratulations to Diane Flick-Williams. She got her 500th career win earlier this season. They're going to play Central Washington on Thursday. The Wildcats have a pretty stout defense, 4th nationally in blocks per set. These two teams, of course, have played a couple really gutsy matches already this year. Now it's all on the line for a spot in the regional semifinals. Gosh, I know it's been such a long wait to hear your name called, but welcome back to the NCAA tournament to the Cal State LA Golden Eagles, the regular season champs in the CCAA. First time they've done that since 2005. Great work from Emily Elliott, Shelby Grubbs, and the Golden Eagles. And even though they fell in the title game to the Broncos, Sonoma State, the 6th seed in the region, they just beat the Golden Eagles in the semifinals after having lost to them in the regular season. Should be a great rematch between Sonoma State and Cal State LA. Okay, that's a wrap for our brackets. Congratulations to all of the teams that made this year's tournament, especially those who had incredible wins in their conference play last weekend to clinch a bid. Take a look here at the schedule for the weekend. Just want to remind you, this year's tournament, part of the very special NCAA Division II Fall Festival. We'll have our championship final sites for cross country, field hockey, volleyball, and soccer, all in Seattle, all at the same time. For all the latest information during the tournament, make sure to keep it locked right here on NCAA.com. You can certainly check your favorite school's team website as well. I'm Brendan Gulick. Thanks for joining us. Have a great time watching the tournament. Best of luck to all 64 teams that have been invited, and we hope to see you in Seattle here in a couple of weeks.
There's an energy swelling out beyond the limits of your expectations. A universe where fandom reigns supreme. Once you're in it, it changes you. Instead of one of one, you're one of many. A blissful sea of chaos. Go beyond your limits and enter the NCAA universe. Get your seats today at ncaa.com/tickets.